Hello and welcome to the CSP download. I'm Lydia and I'm the Children and Families Minister at Chalfont St Peter's Parish Churches. It's a very special episode today. It's our Christmas episode and we're going to be taking a look at the very first Christmas in a little while. But first, we need to take a look at the gallery. Last week we looked at waiting and how God's special people, the Israelites, had to wait a long time for a saviour to arrive. And they also didn't know how the saviour would arrive. So I set you the challenge to see if you could design a way for a saviour to arrive. Here is what you have been up to this week. Some very creative ideas this week. Well done. Today we're going to look at how God sent his saviour into the world. It happened in a way that not many people were expecting, but it was all part of God's big plan. There had been a long wait, but God was fulfilling his promise and coming to rescue the world just as he had said. The plan was starting now. It all began with a woman named Mary. Mary was engaged to be married to Joseph, who was a furniture maker. One day, Mary had a visit from God's special messenger, the Archangel Gabriel. "Hello, Mary. Don't be afraid," the angel told her, because of course Mary was quite startled to find an angel suddenly talking to her. "God is really pleased with you," the angel said to Mary. "He has chosen you to have a special baby who will help to save the world." "Are you sure you've got the right person?" Mary asked. "And what about my wedding?" "Don't worry about a thing," the angel said. "God is in charge of everything." Mary became excited about the idea of being part of God's plan. She was very happy to help serve God in this way. Joseph took a little bit more convincing. In fact, he wasn't very sure what to do at all. So the angel paid a visit to him too and told him that this was all part of God's plan and that Joseph should call the baby Emmanuel, which means God with us. So Joseph and Mary carried on with their wedding preparations and got married. Just before Mary was due to have the baby, they all had to travel back to their hometowns to be counted. What a pain. So Mary and Joseph made the long journey all the way to Bethlehem. When they arrived, Mary was very tired because she was very pregnant. But there was nowhere for them to stay. Door after door was slammed in their faces. "We've got no room," they were told. Eventually, the last inn they tried, the innkeeper took pity on them. "I don't have any room," he said, "but there is some space out the back with my animals. Feel free to make yourselves comfortable there." By this point, Mary and Joseph didn't argue. They were just grateful to have somewhere to sit down. But very soon, Mary had the baby. They had no bed for him except for the donkey's dinner, the manger, and so they put the baby in there. I don't think the donkey was incredibly happy, but what can you do? Jesus, God's special baby, had arrived. God was very pleased and very excited, and so he wanted to tell everyone the news. There were some shepherds out in the fields looking after their sheep. And Well, you're a bit big, aren't you? Oh, fine, I'm not going to argue with you. You can stay there. So, the shepherds were looking after their sheep in the fields when suddenly the angel of the Lord came and appeared to them. Don't be afraid, the angel said, because of course the shepherds and the sheep were rather startled by the appearance of the angel. God has given the world a special baby, his son, Jesus. He's God with us, God with you, shepherds. If you go to Bethlehem, you will find him lying in a manger. So the shepherds hurried all the way to Bethlehem with their sheep, and they found the baby Jesus lying in the manger, just as the angel had told them. Now, there were also some other visitors who came to see Jesus, but they didn't actually arrive for another couple of years. This is because their journey took them a long time. But we'll bring them in now because it helps us tell the rest of the story. So, here we have some wise men. Now, they probably would have made their long journey on some camels. And I know what you're thinking. If you saw the Abraham episode, you'll know that my collection used to lack a camel. Well, thanks to my nieces, who recognised that I'd probably need one in time for Christmas, my collection is now complete. The wise men brought gifts for Jesus, which were important and gave us clues about what Jesus was going to do in his lifetime. They brought gold, because Jesus was the new king. They brought frankincense, which was a special type of incense used in the temple by the priests. And Jesus was going to be our great high priest. And they also bought some myrrh. Now, myrrh was used for covering dead bodies to stop them from deteriorating and smelling. This was a sign that Jesus was going to die. And he was going to die in order to save everybody. This was why he came. It was all part of God's big plan, and God knew what Jesus was going to do with his life. Now, all the people had been waiting so long for God's Saviour to arrive, but when the moment came, most of them missed it. They didn't expect a king to be born outside and be placed in a donkey's dinner for his bed. But one thing's for certain, ever since Jesus came, from that moment on, everything changed. God's big plan was unfolding, and nothing was going to ever be the same again. Well, this is our last episode for the year, and I know that might be quite sad, but don't worry, you can watch back all our other episodes on our YouTube channel. Keep your eyes peeled in 2022 to see more content being uploaded onto our channel. But for now, it's Merry Christmas from me. Have a wonderful time and a very happy new year. I'll either see you at some of our Christmas services if you're close to the parish, or if not, I'll see you on here in the new year. Take care. Bye.